in group supervision another therapist who trained in TRTP, who I lectured at college, at university in his master's, who was 10 years younger than me, started talking about client outcomes, and I immediately knew that what he was saying wasn't possible, because whether it was EMDR, which is wonderful but slow, or somatic therapy, which is wonderful but it's slow, or internal family systems, which is wonderful but it's relatively slow, or all the other therapies that I've trained in over many, many years, I knew what he was telling me simply wasn't possible. So I got very angry that he was grandstanding, he was boasting, and he was hijacking the entire supervision session to talk about outcomes. And the problem with supervision is that you bring problems, not successes. And we were all having problems and he was having successes, and it got me very annoyed. Yes. And I took it to my own supervisor one-on-one, and I said to my supervisor, this is one, not possible, and two, really annoying me. He says, perhaps you need to attend to why it's annoying you. Maybe you need to make some investigations. My supervisor was not a TRTP therapist, but he just invited me to look in more deeply. And from my very first client, the rest is history. We tested a month later, and of course we've tested it years later. This therapy is maintenance free. That doesn't mean the client doesn't have to look after themselves, but they do automatically. And we do some education in the third session, or the third stage of this process, to help clients build a life of fun and peace and joy, knowing nutrition and sleep and hanging around life-affirming people and getting into nature and just celebrating life, because they may never have done that because of their trauma. TRTP is a standalone approach. And as a result, therefore, you need a thorough support right through the process, before, during, and after the workshop. And you get that the whole way through. So it is a little at first, paint by numbers, follow the bouncing ball, because you are still integrating it into your knowledge and awareness. But as it becomes automatic, by the time it becomes automatic, the supports have been there the whole time. You don't need them after then, though they're still there. TRTP is grounded in, can I say, great neuroscience, great attachment theory, great psychodynamic theory. It's consistent with internal family systems. It's consistent with strengths-based theory. It's consistent with so many really helpful therapies. But the profound difference is it gives the client a vivid, safe, vital experience of what it means to, one, be empowered, and two, be safe. Trauma is in the body, and if the brain doesn't rewire, nothing will change, and you cannot rewire the brain externally. It's got to happen because the client chooses and engages and experiences it, and TRTP does all of that. Many years ago, and I have found to be the last 4 years of my work specializing in attachment developmental trauma has revolutionized my whole understanding of the practice, the work, humanity through TRTP. Has changed everything. Absolutely wonderful experience. Only getting better. And when I say only getting better, I see anxiety, depression, and stress go from extremely severe to normal, highly elevated to non-existent in the space of 3 sessions in 95% of my clients. And the other 5%, I can explain exactly why, and the client knows why it didn't change.
Yeah.
So if 20 clients walked into my door, 19 of them walk out, not just changed, but transformed in the space of a month. Transformed. I was 64 in a couple of months, and I was in my late 50s and went, I don't think I can work much longer hearing pain that I can't do something powerful with any longer. And so I planned my retirement for my early 60s, and now I work well into my 70s, if not 80s. I'd say to every therapist, do you want to dance around the edges of therapy, or do you want to change lives? It's as simple as that. And if you've got a better way, if your therapies, the work you're doing is transforming clients, stick with it. But if you could not honestly say your clients walk out of your door dancing, completely transformed, in the space of just a few weeks. Well, then would you not want that? Do not your clients deserve that?